Hey there folks, in this tutorial I'll show you how to edit a screencast and articulate the replay. We'll look at the timeline, mixing the video tracks. We'll also show you how to insert other content such as video, sound, images, and lower thirds. So let's head on down to the timeline and get started. Now after I've completed a screen recording, it is going to appear here on the timeline. You'll notice two tracks. If you've recorded your screen and your webcam, the screen recording will be on track A, your webcam will be on track B. If you recorded your webcam only, it would be up there on track A, but I have A and B. Now you'll notice I can take this video and I can move it about here, so I can move it left and right because maybe I want to insert some other content in here beforehand, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. But I can take and I can move it about. I can also hover my mouse cursor over the beginning or the end of the track, wait for the double arrow to appear, then click and drag and trim the beginning and the end of the video. So working with the video track there, the timeline, really straightforward. So right above the timeline, we have the mix track, and what mixing is referring to is the visibility of the individual tracks, the A track and B track. If you notice the mix buttons right here, we have A with B inset, A by itself, B by itself, and then B with A inset. Right now, the entire track is set to A visible, is primary with B inset. What I could do here is I could say, you know what? What I would like to have happen is I want this to be B. So now it's B. If I take my scrubber bar, my little playhead out here a little bit farther, I can say, well, at this point, let's have B with A inset. And you'll notice that a nice little fade transition occurs here. And I can take that and fine tune it. I can move it about. And I can come a little farther and say maybe I want just A present, and then maybe A with B inset. And so just that quickly, I can determine what's going to be visible in my screencast, and Replay will automatically create these great professional transitions for me. I can also delete these. I can simply select one of them, use my delete key, and click and delete, or right click and delete selected items. And so I also have some other options here. If I right click, so change to show track A, I can change it with my right cursor here, or my right click as well. But I'm going to go ahead and delete those because what's also really neat here is I can do this on the fly in real time. What I can do if I select play, as this video is playing, I can make these changes as I go along. So I can, real time, I can preview my video and say, oh, this would be great right here. Let's move that there. Now let's go to B. Maybe it's A and B inset. There we go. Now up here, picture-in-picture quadrant. If you select one of these areas, the little A with B inset or B with A inset, you can determine which quadrant the picture-in-picture is going to appear. So A with B inset lower right, maybe I want in the upper right. So I could choose that, and you'll notice that it will change dynamically here in the timeline for me, which is really cool. I could say, let's have right here, let's have another A and B, and we'll move that to the upper right. So what's going to happen is it's going to transition to the upper right. So really easy to work with mixing here. And once again, I can simply say, all right, I'm going to get rid of all of these and start from scratch once again, bring my scrub head bar back to the beginning and begin right back where I was and start all over. Because it's so fast and so easy to do, I can keep on playing, and once again I can fine tune, I can do it on the fly. It's really cool, really fun to do. So after I have my mixing done, now maybe I want to insert some other content to further enhance my screencast, and so I can bring in video, for example. You'll notice that when I bring a video in, it appears here over on the A timeline at the end. And it'll also have this automatic transition between the two. If I take that and drag it back, you will see that anytime I bump one media item up against another, it will create a really cool, smooth transition. Now, I might decide I want this video to be at the beginning of the timeline, and here's the trick to this. I need to make sure that there is enough space in the beginning of the timeline to move this video, so I need to open up enough space, and then I can take it and move it up to the front. There we go. Now let's take a look at this. Let's switch that to show just the A track, and show you how great this looks, a nice smooth transition, and just like that. Perfect. Now I can also bring images in. Let's say I want to bring an image in here as a slide title screen. Same type of thing. Make sure there's enough space, bump it up, and now I have this nice title slide here that I can bring in and work with. So really easy bringing these items in. I could bring in a lower third. Okay, so what's a lower third? Well, actually, I'm not going to bring it in. It's kind of built into replay. Let's say that this is the talent, and I use the term loosely because that's me on the screen. Let's say I want to let folks know who this person is, so I could use a lower third. So a lower third is this item down here that we can put some text on. And so this is Mike from Articulate. And you'll see insert subtitle. If I remove that, it'll actually shrink down a little bit for me, which is great. I could bring in a logo. So if I want to bring a logo in, I could add a logo here to this as well. And then I can also choose how I want this to animate in. Animated or a simple fade. And I can take that lower third and move it about the screen as well. And also determine how long it'll be there on the screen. So really easy to add lower thirds, to add videos, to add images, and that is a quick way to enhance your Articulate Replay screencast. Now, one last item of note here, if I select my screencast in the timeline, you'll notice that we have audio volume. You have the opportunity to alter the audio volume of your screencast. So maybe you decide I don't want any audio on the screencast because maybe you brought some other sound in. Well, then you could mute that audio volume for the screen recording. You could have it set it automatically, so Replay does a nice job of that for you. Or if you've decided, you know what, I want the audio volume to be a little bit higher, a little bit lower, what you can do is you can manually set that higher or lower here as well. So that's a quick rundown on editing your screencast in Articulate Replay. Should you have any questions about editing and Replay or any other Articulate software questions, please join us in the eLearning Heroes community. We're there with thousands of other users. We share tips, tricks, and best practices. We also have lots of cool free stuff to download, so come on in and check that out and stop on into the forums. Ask your questions because we are there to help you out because we want you to become an eLearning hero. Take care, everybody. Ooh, geez, looks like I'm smooching the screen there. Maybe I should move that a little bit. There we go. That's better.